What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Joe Pyfer shared his honest thoughts on claims that Israel Adesanya is washed ahead of their upcoming fight at UFC Seattle in March. Speaking openly, Joe made it clear that he does not agree with that narrative and believes people are underestimating the former champion. He explained that 36 years old is not that old in modern MMA, especially for someone who takes care of his body the way Israel does. Joe pointed out that Israel has not taken excessive damage throughout his UFC career and has avoided many of the brutal wars that shorten fighters' primes. Aside from a close battle with Kelvin Gastelum and his rivalry with Alex Pereira, Joe said Israel has rarely been seriously hurt. Joe emphasized that Israel has never been coldly knocked out or finished in devastating fashion, which shows his durability and awareness inside the cage. In his view, Israel is still young in fighting terms and remains a dangerous opponent. He also believes that Israel's lifestyle and professionalism play a major role in keeping him competitive. According to Joe, the pressure is now off Israel, as he is no longer chasing a belt or trying to satisfy outside expectations. That freedom could allow him to perform at his highest level. Joe admitted he does not know exactly where Israel is mentally or personally, but he is preparing for the best possible version of him. He said he refuses to underestimate his opponent and does not want to walk into the fight unprepared. Joe explained that his goal is to avoid becoming a meme or being embarrassed on a big stage. Instead, he wants to go out there, cause damage, and make a strong statement. Joe added that he hopes to be the first fighter to finish Israel in a dominant way, showing that he could no longer hang at the highest level. He acknowledged that he has a lot of work ahead, but no matter which version of Israel shows up, he is confident and ready to take him out. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley opened up about how much his recent win over Song Yadong meant to him after snapping his losing streak. He admitted that for a long time, he took winning for granted and felt like he would never lose. Fight after fight, victory seemed automatic, and he never truly stopped to appreciate it. However, coming off 2 tough losses changed his mindset completely. Sean explained that finally getting his hand raised again felt different, more emotional, and more rewarding than before. He said it really felt good to win, in a way he was not used to experiencing. Usually after a victory, he would stay calm and move on quickly, believing success was guaranteed. This time, though, the win brought genuine relief and satisfaction. It reminded him why he loves competing and how important every victory truly is. Moving on to another news, Diego Lopes recently opened up about his upcoming rematch with Alexander Volkanovski and promised fans that this time, he will be a completely different fighter. While many fans are not especially excited about the matchup, believing the first fight already showed a clear gap, Diego sees this rematch as his opportunity for redemption. With Volk nearing the later stages of his career, some supporters would prefer fresh matchups. But Diego remains fully focused on proving he belongs at the top. He admitted that the first fight was much tougher than he expected. According to Diego, Volk's movement, timing, and game plan were nearly perfect. Every time Diego tried to push forward, he felt like Volk's corner, and team were guiding him step by step. He said it felt like Volk always had the right answer in every situation, which made the fight extremely difficult. Since that loss, Diego has completely changed the way he prepares. He took a deep look at his previous training camp and realized that there were too many distractions and weaknesses. He admitted that his ego made him believe everything was fine, even when it was not. After the fight, he understood that many things in his camp needed to be fixed. To solve those problems, Diego stripped everything back and built a private gym for himself and his team. He now trains in a controlled environment with a dedicated cage, allowing him to focus fully on improvement. Every session is designed around discipline, structure, and long-term growth. He believes this new setup has corrected the mistakes that held him back before. Diego also spoke about improving his wrestling and confidence in his takedowns. He said that in the first fight, he did not fully trust his ability to bring Volk to the ground because of how well Volk moved. Now, after months of focused training, he feels ready. If he gets the opportunity, he is confident he can secure takedowns and control the fight. He explained that this camp has been built specifically to study Volk's patterns and habits. Every detail has been analyzed to create openings and capitalize on mistakes. Diego believes that this strategic approach will allow him to fight on his own terms instead of reacting. Looking back, he admitted that he learned a lot from losing. The experience humbled him and showed him that talent alone is not enough at the highest level. Discipline, structure, and self-awareness are essential. He now feels stronger mentally and physically than ever before. Despite fan skepticism, Diego is convinced this rematch will not be a repeat. He sees it as his moment to prove he has leveled up, corrected his flaws, and evolved into a more complete fighter. With renewed confidence and a rebuilt training system, he is determined to make the most of this opportunity and show the world a new version of himself. Moving on to another news. Justin Gaethje made it clear that there is no chance the UFC is keeping him off the upcoming White House card. Speaking after his latest fight, Justin admitted that he took some damage and got rocked a few times, but explained that one of the advantages of MMA over other dangerous sports is the ability to take proper recovery time. He said he plans to do exactly that because the White House event in June is too important to miss. Justin emphasized that he represents his country and feels proud of the position and opportunity he has been given. He said, "There is no way he is missing that card unless something extreme happens." In his mind, being part of that historic event is non-negotiable, and he is fully committed to being ready. He also responded to comments made by Paddy Pimblett, who claimed that Justin's face would not look the same after their fight. Justin laughed about it and said the comment actually motivated him. He recalled looking at Paddy right after the fight and pointing out that Paddy's face had taken far more damage. Justin joked that aside from some swelling and looking a little fat, he felt like he looked the same. When asked if he had a message for Ilya, Justin made it clear that he is not interested in trash talk. He said he controls his thoughts and emotions and refuses to give Ilya any extra attention. Instead, he relies on his coaches to study opponents and build the right game plan. Justin explained that he does not spend much time watching rivals on his own and prefers to trust his team. He mentioned that he recently watched footage of Paddy and Michael Chandler, but beyond that, he lets his coaches handle the technical breakdowns. For him, preparation and discipline matter more than hype. Justin added that if a fight with Ilya is next, he cannot wait. He said this is exactly why he became a fighter, to compete in the biggest and best matchups possible. He believes that unless Ilya is unavailable, their fight is the logical next step. If Ilya cannot return in time, Justin suggested that the belt could be stripped, making him the undisputed champion. As the first two-time interim champion in UFC history, Justin acknowledged that he has been given a rare opportunity. Facing an undefeated, highly ranked fighter is a massive challenge, but he sees it as motivation rather than pressure. He said he is not trying to exaggerate or create drama because honesty is part of who he is. In closing, Justin explained that his focus is on trusting his preparation, trusting his coaches, and trusting his skills. He believes he is in this position for a reason and hopes this moment is part of his destiny. While he cannot control the outcome, he is ready to give everything he has when the time comes. Moving on to another news, Israel Adesanya is preparing for his return to the octagon as he gets ready to face Joe Pyfer in the main event of UFC Seattle on March 28th. This will be Izzy's first fight since his shocking second-round knockout loss to Nassourdine Imavov, a defeat that raised serious questions about his timing, durability, and long-term future after turning 36 and experiencing several recent setbacks. That loss was especially surprising because it came early in round 2 and ended so suddenly. For many fans, it sparked concerns about Izzy's chin and whether his elite reflexes were beginning to fade. Despite those doubts, Adesanya remains one of the most skilled strikers in MMA history, known for his distance control, precision counters, and high-level fight IQ. Now he finds himself facing a younger and explosive opponent in Pyfer, a powerful knockout artist who has been on a strong run after rebounding from his only UFC loss. Izzy views this matchup as a classic example of UFC matchmaking. In his mind, the promotion often pairs rising stars with established names to either build the newcomer's profile or test whether the veteran still belongs at the top. He believes this is simply part of the game and something he has watched for years. Sometimes it works, sometimes it fails, but it is the nature of the sport. Speaking about the matchup, Izzy admitted that Pyfer is dangerous and that his one-shot power could end the fight quickly. Still, he is not intimidated by the narrative surrounding the bout. Instead, he sees it as motivation to prove that he still has what it takes to compete at the highest level. He also addressed the online trolling and social media drama involving Joe. After initially showing respect, Pyfer posted an image that upset some fans. Izzy said he did not even see it until days later and brushed it off with humor. He joked that if Joe really wanted to be bold, he should have done something more creative and direct. Izzy explained that much of the online noise today is driven by artificial intelligence, edits, and fake content. He called it modern nonsense and said it is another challenge fighters now have to deal with. In his view, People can say or create anything online, so there is no point in taking it personally. He emphasized that staying focused is more important than reacting emotionally to social media. His priority is preparation, discipline, and sharpening his skills for fight night. Izzy believes that blocking out distractions allows him to perform at his best. As he heads into this high-stakes crossroads fight, Adesanya remains calm, confident, and realistic. He understands the risks, respects Pyfer's power, and accepts the pressure that comes with being a veteran star. At the same time, he is determined to show that he is far from finished and that his experience, mindset, and talent can still carry him to victory. Moving on to another news, Belal Muhammad correctly predicted how Justin Gaethje would defeat Paddy Pimblett long before they stepped into the cage. Earlier in the week, Belal shared his breakdown on his YouTube channel, explaining exactly why the matchup favored Justin and what Paddy needed to do in order to have a chance. Belal started by reminding everyone that this is not college wrestling. This is the UFC. He said fighting involves punches, grappling, pressure, and every aspect of mixed martial arts. According to him, if he were in Paddy's position, he would shoot for takedowns early and test Justin's defense while both fighters were still dry and fresh. He explained that those early moments are often the best opportunity to control a dangerous striker. He pointed out how fighters like Khabib were able to catch low kicks and immediately turn them into takedowns, using that timing to push opponents to the fence. Belal said Justin thrives when he is allowed to pressure forward and trade strikes. He warned that nobody wants to stand and absorb shots from him, because every fighter who has been hit by Justin talks about how powerful he is. He emphasized that Justin is one of the hardest hitters in the division. Belal advised Paddy not to test his chin or rely on toughness. He said there was no need to prove anything by standing and trading. Instead, he believed the clear path to victory was on the ground. In his view, Paddy would have a major advantage in tough grappling exchanges, especially if he could secure multiple takedowns and maintain control. He referenced Paddy's performance against Michael Chandler, where he was able to control the fight on the mat, secure dominant positions, and apply heavy pressure. Belal believed Paddy should try to repeat that same strategy against Justin and fully commit to it. Despite outlining this plan, Belal still picked Justin to win. He explained that Paddy tends to get hit too much on the feet, even in fights he wins. He mentioned that Jared Gordon landed clean hooks and crosses, and Justin's dirty boxing and inside fighting are even more dangerous. Belal compared Justin's style to fighters who thrive in close-range chaos. In the end, Belal predicted that Justin would likely win by decision after a hard, grinding fight, similar to a Tony Ferguson-style battle. He praised Paddy's toughness, saying he is not easy to break, but believed Justin's pressure and striking would ultimately make the difference. Moving on to another news, Dana White shared his thoughts after an intense night of action, addressing the future of several top fighters and reflecting on the brutal 5-round battle between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. According to Dana, Justin is 100% healthy and does not need to take any time off, despite the punishment he absorbed inside the cage. On the other hand, Paddy was sent straight to the hospital following the fight, showing just how tough and demanding the contest really was. Dana explained that Paddy came into the fight with full confidence, even saying at the weigh-ins that he was going to knock Justin out. That mindset never changed once the fight started. Even after getting dropped multiple times, Paddy refused to abandon his striking approach. Many people expected him to shoot for takedowns and look for a submission, but he stayed on his feet and kept trading. Dana admitted that he did not know Paddy had such a strong chin until that night, praising his heart and toughness. He described both fighters as absolute dogs who went to war and earned massive respect. At the time of the interview, Justin had not yet been fully checked by doctors, so his physical status was still uncertain. There were questions about whether the next step should be an interim unification fight or if Justin might need time off to recover. However, Dana later confirmed that Justin insisted he was fine and had been through many wars before. As far as the organization knows, he is healthy and ready to move forward. Dana also spoke about sending both fighters for medical evaluation, with Paddy going immediately and Justin following shortly after. Despite the damage, Justin reportedly felt confident in his condition and reassured the staff that he was good. This only added to his reputation as one of the toughest fighters in the sport. Another major topic was Arman and his future. Many fans online felt that Arman had been snubbed from the interim title fight and deserved a bigger opportunity. Dana revealed that he briefly spoke to Arman at the event, saying they shook hands and exchanged greetings, but did not have a deeper conversation about timelines or plans. When asked about upcoming events, including the rumored White House card, Dana said he had already mapped out many future cards. While he could not confirm off the top of his head whether Arman was officially booked, he suggested that Arman would probably be on one of them. This hinted that big opportunities may be coming soon. Overall, Dana's comments highlighted the toughness of Justin and Paddy, the uncertainty around future title fights, and the growing expectations surrounding Arman. The night was a reminder of how unpredictable and intense the sport can be, with warriors willing to push themselves to the absolute limit for victory. Moving on to another news. Arman shared his thoughts after UFC 324 and made it clear that he wants to fight Justin Gaethje next. Speaking to reporters, Arman explained that he sees himself firmly in the middle of the title picture and believes a matchup with Justin makes the most sense at this stage of his career. With Ilya holding the main championship and Justin carrying the interim belt, Arman feels he has earned the right to face the toughest competition available. During the interview, Arman was reminded that the division is crowded with talent and full of possibilities. Many different scenarios are being discussed behind the scenes, and fans are constantly debating who should fight who next. Arman admitted that he is interested in facing all the top names, but in his mind, the next logical step is Justin. He confidently stated that he expects to fight Gaethje, while Ilya may move on to defend his title elsewhere. When asked how he came to that conclusion, Arman laughed and said it was simply a creative guess. He explained that sometimes fighters have to trust their instincts and read the situation. Based on what he sees in the division, he believes this path makes sense for everyone involved. His calm and honest response showed that he is focused on opportunities rather than politics. Arman went on to say that fighting Justin is especially appealing because of the interim title. He views it as a direct route to proving himself as the #1 contender. If Ilya is unable to fight at the beginning of the year or cannot compete in the coming months, Arman feels that facing Justin would be the perfect solution. He also mentioned that if Ilya is ready to fight soon, then the two champions should meet to unify the belts. However, if there are delays around April or June, Arman is ready to step in and take on Gaethje without hesitation. He made it clear that he is prepared to stay active and does not want to sit on the sidelines waiting. Overall, Arman's message was simple and confident. He respects the champions, understands the business, and remains focused on one goal. He wants to fight Justin, prove himself against the best, and move one step closer to undisputed gold.